Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Rail Chief here, and welcome back to another unboxing video here on my channel. As always, my name is Mike, and we have another great show for you all today. So last weekend, me and my dad went back to the Roxana firehouse to check out what was going on at the local train show this weekend. And lo and behold, we managed to pick up a couple of new items in these very recognizable yet beautiful orange boxes. Now, just a little bit of a reminder, we didn't really go too crazy on purchasing anything too big or exciting because the York Trade Show should be coming up in just a couple of weeks or so. So we're going to be saving our little appetite on collecting until that day. But until then, let's go ahead and bring these on over to the layout and I'll show you guys what we bought. So before we get on with the rest of the video here, I just wanted to share with you guys a little piece of information in a new mini-series that I'm going to be doing in these videos that I make for you guys. So in this type of video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the differences between a reproduction and an original Lionel post-war part, just in case you guys might be looking for replacement parts for your Lionel trains and accessories. So for example, I have two switch machines here, both an original and a reproduction. Now, when explaining the differences between an original versus a reproduction of a Lionel part or component, there's a couple of things that you guys need to be aware of. First of all, when it comes to the original, like I have here in my hand, the paint has a little bit of a shine to it, plus the plastic is very smooth on the switch lantern, and then we also have the four lantern holes on all four sides here. And then we also have the hole up on the top here, which helps the heat to exit the switch lanterns. That way it doesn't melt. However, within a reproduction Lionel switch lantern, the holes are much larger, and the plastic, even though it's on the smooth side, it's not as smooth like an original Lionel switch lantern is. And the paint has a little bit of a dull finish to it. So in case you guys didn't know that by now you do. Okay, so the first item that we purchased at the show was this very beautiful red and gray New York Central pacemaker extended vision caboose. The item number of this car is 6-6910, and this item was made around 1984 by MPC Lionel. Now, even though Lionel was coming out with some new molds and designs for the rolling stock, as well as some of their engines, they were also using some of the leftover parts and components that were basically left over from Lionel's post-war inventory. And it's pretty much shown on this caboose, which we'll get back to in just a little bit. Now, the one thing that really sticks out, like I mentioned before, is the paint scheme. This caboose is painted for the New York Central pacemaker. We also have two ladders on each side of the caboose, as well as a little plastic platform on each side. It also has a toolbox, very similar to the Western Maryland caboose that I have as well. And then the trucks are basically leftover post-war trucks that were used for the Lionel Erie caboose, which was made around 1966. However, the first version of that caboose was actually a Lionel Lines caboose made around 1957 and ran through 1960. Now, there are also some slight differences between the Western Maryland caboose that I have versus the New York Central, which I'll get to in just a second. But other than that, this is a very beautiful caboose, and I'm really happy to have another New York Central piece in my collection. Okay, so now, if we could just take a look at the New York Central alongside with the Western Maryland caboose here, we can see that it's basically the exact same design. The only difference is that the New York Central does not have the smoke unit on top like the Western Maryland has here. And if we take a look at the bottom of each caboose here, we can see that both cars use a very different style of trucks. Like the Western Maryland here uses the arch bar trucks, I believe these are called. And then the New York Central goes for a much realistic looking type of truck design. The next car that we bought at the train show last weekend was this very beautiful refrigerator car painted for the Conrail paint scheme. Now, this is a very nice looking piece of rolling stock, just like the caboose was. And just like with the New York Central, I'm just really happy to have another Conrail piece in my possession. Now, unlike the New York Central caboose, there really isn't a whole lot to talk about when it comes to this car in particular, but we do get some very nice features on here nonetheless. Like for example, we do get this very nice looking catwalk at the top of the refrigerator car. We also, if we just move it back and forth, we can see it runs very smoothly. And if we pick up the car and take a better look at the trucks, we can see that even though they're metal trucks, they do have a little bit of a plastic coupler head, but they still work nonetheless. Now this piece was made around 1987 by Lionel, and the number of this item is 6-17301. And the one last thing to mention about this car is that the door does not open. Alright, so let's go ahead and take these cars around for a spin for a little bit and we'll see how they look. So I hope you all have enjoyed today's little video that I put together for you guys. Like I said earlier before, we didn't buy a whole lot at the train show last weekend, but the York show is supposed to be coming up in just about a couple weeks, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for that here on my channel. But as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell down below for any other projects that I upload. But until next time, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next episode. Thanks again, and take care.